gonna start. We have great, amazing session today. Something like I was talking with the leadership team and with Kim. I mean, this is something that I think no one is really doing in the community for Tableau. How can you make your biz more attractive, having more chances to be selected as a biz of the day? That's what I think. It's so cool. This content today, something that you will not find anywhere. I mean, at least I was not able to find it. So that I think that's something incredible. And we have the chance today to know and learn more about this, how you can get your biz selected as one of the biz of the day. And Kim not only have one, you have 3 that was selected. So imagine. So can't wait for this. Let's wait like 1 or 2 minutes. How many people we have right now so far? Jeff.
37, 38.
Okay.
38. Go over 39.
Perfect. Perfect. Let's see if we can. My screen is fine, right? You can see it?
You are good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So if we get 50 or more, then we can start. We have 39. Yeah, just wait for 2 more minutes and.
All right, tell us where you're from in the chat. And I put a little thing out there, you know, what's one thing you love about data and Tableau? Join in and feel free to drop your LinkedIn in the chat if you would like, or your TableauPublic link, any of that kind of stuff, and share with the community. So feel free.
So Aaron have a poll that he wants to share. Aaron, do you want to share it, or you need me to stop sharing, or?
No, I'll just put it in the chat.
You're gonna put it in the chat. Great. Put it in the chat.
You know, we just want to see if anybody would be interested in having kind of a hybrid user group next time. So just go to that location there. It's a yes, no, or maybe, and you know, just so we can get some feedback for our leadership to see if we can try to do something in person. So just let us know, and we'll ask you guys towards the end of this as well to make sure you fill that out.
Yes, we're looking for probably doing in person in November because of the Tableau, conference that is going to be in November. So that will be something cool. We can find a good location for everyone. So, and we can have one in-person meeting.
Awesome.
Yeah. 46. Let's start 12:05. Almost there. Thank you for being here. So soon. Yeah. This is the last day of the month. I'm going to my favorite, October, Halloween. You guys know that there is like really amazing Halloween data visualizations in TableauPublic. They cannot be nicer. It's a lot of great visualizations there. So that's something that we're going to definitely go and look into it for next month. So 12:05 and we're almost 50. Yes, we got 50 participants. So let's start. So thank you for everyone for being here today, September 30th. We have Kim Tricker. She is definitely a data rock star. That's what I put my data rock star shirt in honor to Kim. We think, if you're a data visualization developer or anybody that loves data like us, you know that having 3 businesses to be selected as a biz of the day is not an easy task. And Kim have done it, and she's here. She is here in Orlando. We're very lucky to have her and be part of the Orlando talk. and she's gonna show us an amazing topic today. I mean, how can you be selected? How she was able to accomplish that? I can't wait for that. I mean, and welcome all of you here today. Thank you for being here. A little bit about the talk. Please, the orlandotalk@gmail.com. Remember that, write it down. We're gonna put it in the chat. Aaron is gonna put it in the chat. Any questions, anything that you wanted to ask us, please reach out to us. If you want to participate, if you want to be a speaker, reach out to us, to any of us. If you have issues with Tableau, if you have anything that you want us to help you, we're here to help you. That's the idea of the talk, right? To collaborate. So that you know a little bit about us, so you have Aaron, Andrew, Jeff, Katie, Kevin, Robert, and myself. My name is Jamil. We're here. We're the leadership team of the Orlando Talk. Has been doing this for many years, and our talk is growing exponentially. And we're very happy that you're here. And we're doing this every month. And the reason why we're here, you know, we want you to connect with us, network with us. And, you know, here is our, we have a hashtag Orlando Talk on LinkedIn or on Twitter, Talk Orlando. And we're here because we want to accomplish, you know, the mission of Tableau, to help people see and understand data. We meet monthly. We try to help anyone. We're trying to improve your visual analytics, best practices, all of that accomplishes you want to accomplish with Tableau. We're here to help you. And we know people in Tableau that can help you too. And that's the idea of the talk, right? And I know that some of you are from other areas from Florida. You're more than welcome to keep attending our talk. This talk is for everyone, and we're happy that you're here. And so let's get to the main event. This is really cool. I mean, we have Kim, you know, Kim Tricker. She is a lead data analyst at ADP. And today she's going to present us something that nobody's talking about. Like, she has 3 V's that were selected as Biz of the Day by Tableau. And she's going to talk with us about her design process, her features, and she's going to give us some tips and tricks about how your biz can be selected. And the very important, at the end, she's going to give us some time to ask questions. I mean, I don't know you, but I have questions. I don't have questions. And we have questions because we want our biz to also have a chance to be selected. So take advantage of that at the end. She's going to give us some time for asking questions. And we also have a job board. And believe it or not, we have 12 amazing opportunities from like 4 different companies. These are companies, local companies reaching out to us for looking for talent like you that know Tableau. And we're gonna have some announcements for Tableau conference. And at the end, I'm gonna have this amazing book, the big book of dashboards, signed by no other than Steve Wexler. And he sent us the book, and he wants us to give away this book. And we're gonna give the book away by the end of the call. And so be here at the end, and maybe you can win this book, and I will send you this book. I will mail the book to you. And so let's talk about Kim. So Kim, so that you guys know, is a data science. So we even have a data science today. This is amazing. And she discovered Tableau when she was, you know, working and blending data and working in analytics. And she loved, of course, Tableau. And she's been doing great with Tableau, of course, and so being selected 3 times. And also she participated in Makeover Monday, Sports Biz Sundays. And here is her profile. Aaron is going to put that on the chat. Her profile, please, you know, connect with Kim. Look at her data visualization. They're really amazing on TableauPublic. You have to look at those, and you can download those her dashboards and learn from what she have done. And Kim also specialized on survey data. I was impressed with that. I worked a lot with survey data before. And honestly, survey data is not easy. It's actually pretty hard to deal with survey data, especially with the data that you have to blend and it changes all the time. So she specialized on that, which is pretty amazing. And here we have Kim, and I'm going to pass it to Kim. Thank you, Kim, for being here and giving us the opportunity to learn more from you. And I'm going to pass it to Kim. And remember,
awesome.
Stay with us.
Thank you. Thank you for that intro. That it's going to be hard to live up to that hype. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll start sharing. Let's see.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Cool. All right. So yeah, first of all, just thank you very much to the Orlando Tableau user group for having me. Really honored to be here. And also thank you to everyone who joined, probably given up your your lunch hour to listen to me ramble for a little bit. So once again, really appreciate that. I am a little bit about me. I am sort of maybe I could say an adopted Orlando native. I was born in Hong Kong, but my family moved to Oviedo when I was 2. So I was kind of raised in the area and went away for college for a bit. And now my wife and I are back in the Orlando area. So I'm always very happy to represent Orlando wherever I go. So like Jamal was saying, I learned Tableau actually while getting my master's degree in data science. And it was my favorite class in the course. I really loved sort of turning math into a visual sort of thing. But I sort of forgot about it because my job didn't really let me use Tableau. And then I changed jobs. I started working in the financial industry. And they asked me to build a dashboard on a project we were working on. And I just like fell in love with it. And I couldn't get enough of it at work. So I was started to enter into some of those communities like Nick Over Monday and Sports Viz Sunday. And started posting dashboards into my TableauPublic profile around late 2018. And I've been lucky enough to have been selected 3 times for Viz of the Day and once as a Tableau featured author. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, my 3 Viz of the Days. And at the end, I'll talk a little bit about what I think went into being selected. So I'm just going to transition over to my browser. So this was my first Viz that was selected as Viz of the Day. Sports Viz Sunday, if you're not familiar with it, this is where I got the data set. It's a really cool community. They post a data set related to sports once a month. And the goal is to create a visualization out of something, usually a pretty large data set, and make it interesting. So for this month, I think this was around, I want to say August 2019 was when this NFL data set was posted on Sports Viz Sunday. And I think I started the data set trying to analyze like wins and losses for certain teams. And then I got really frustrated by ties, because ties were rare, but they did keep coming up. So like most of the things that I end up visualizing, I just scrapped my whole initial idea and went straight into analyzing ties. And so that's what this is, the rarity of an NFL tie. So I'm going to walk you through all 3 of my Vizes. So I will be a little bit quick through these, but if you're welcome to look at them later and give me some feedback. I'm always welcoming feedback. So anyway, my Vizes sort of start as like a storyboard. I really love infographics and I like to tell a story with data. So I start with just a little bit of background into the topic. So in this case, a timeline of ties in the NFL, so the number of games that ended in a tie per season. And you can see in this gray band, oops. You can see this gray band, this was the period prior to the NFL enacting a sudden death overtime rule. So ties were pretty common in these early seasons. And then they became very rare. And so this data set is looking up until 2018 season. And so at that point, 10 teams hadn't played to a tie. And this is another thing that I really like to incorporate in my visualizations are illustrations or icons that kind of add sort of a visual element to the dashboard so that it's not all line graphs and bar charts. This is some of the things to keep in mind with doing this though, is that one is it's pretty tedious. So fortunately I only had to visualize 11 team helmets here, but if I had to do the whole NFL, I'd have to go save each image and assign it to each data point for each NFL team. But I think it's worth it in the end because I think it adds a really cool visual element. The other thing about it is I would recommend always getting these images from the same source or the same person, illustrator, or if you're artistic, which I'm not, unfortunately, you could draw it yourself. But it adds sort of a consistency when it all comes from the same source that allows it to sort of be visually appealing in that way. So that's that part. And then I also down here visualized each of the games that ended in a tie, essentially all games that went into overtime since 1974. And the orange dots represent the games that even after overtime still ended in a tie. Another thing that I like to do with my visuals is take away as much text as possible. So in this situation, for every game, I just utilize the tooltip to give a little bit of information about that game, so you can dig into the ones that are interesting to you, and the end user is not overwhelmed by an extraordinary amount of text. Just a quick little frequency chart here on when ties happen per week in the NFL. And then again, utilizing, in this case, team logos as sort of another visual element to make the dashboard a little bit more appealing. Instead of just writing Carolina Panthers, having their logo makes it just a little bit more interesting. Okay, so that is this Viz. This was, let me see. So yeah, 2019. So very early in the NFL season, and I'll get to why I think that's important in a minute. The next one, okay, so, and you'll notice again, you'll notice again that this is a Sports Viz Sunday data set. Really love sports data. And this one was really, really cool. So Houston Astros did not win the 2017 World Series, sort of a controversial title. But if you're not familiar with this whole scandal, I'm going to try to explain it as best I can. And hopefully there's no MLB fans here that are going to be, if there are, you're going to be cringing at my explanation. So I'm going to try my best. But essentially, so in reality, the Astros did win back in 2017. But like a few months or maybe even a year after they won, they started to have investigations which revealed that they were involved in illegal sign stealing practices. And I think it's kind of known that like everyone in the MLB steals signs. But this year was really particularly bad. So what they found was that the Astros put a camera at center field pointed at the catcher, and a live stream of that camera was fed to the Astros dugout. So someone would be watching in the Astros dugout. Every time one of the Astros batters went up to bat, they'd watch for the catcher to throw a sign to the pitcher. And then once that happened, that would indicate a change in pitch was coming. So when the person watching that live stream would see the catcher throw a sign, they would bang on a trash can so that the Astros batter would be alerted that a change in pitch was coming. If you do go to my Viz and you click on this image, there's a video that explained that much better than I did. But the really cool thing about what happened here, really cool thing about what happened here is this guy who was actually an Astros fan, he listened to all 8,200 pitches during the home Astros 2017 season, during the regular season. And he recorded every instance that he heard one of the banging sounds and instances where he didn't. And so that's what this visualization is. So these are around 8,000 dots. The gray ones are pitches where there was not a bang, and then the red ones are pitches where there was a bang. And the other cool thing is he linked to the YouTube video of the actual pitch. So if I were to click on this, I'm not going to play it because, well, that one's not available. But you can listen for yourself if you want to go in. Sometimes I can't even hear the bangs. I think he was maybe using some sort of enhanced audio, but it's really cool to be able to investigate this for yourself and take a look at instances where there were sign stealing and when there wasn't. So then, he not only did he record the video and bangs and stuff, and also if you hover over, you can see how many bangs to listen for. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's two or three. So he recorded that. He recorded the type of pitch that that pitch was. So I looked into what kind of pitches were triggered by a bang, how accurate those were, which batters benefited most from the bang signals. And so I looked at their batting average with the bangs, and then again without the bangs. And then the players here in red are the players that had a higher or a better batting average when the bangs were present. Also looked into what effect the bangs had on the plays. So, what percentage of at-bats that end in runs for each of the different pitch types. Also looked at the correlation between the number of at-bats with audible bangs and the number of Astros runs. And the red dots are the games that they won. So you can see there's a positive correlation between, in the games that they won, between the number of at-bats with audible bangs and the number of runs. So basically, they were getting, these bangs were successful. They were getting more runs and they were winning when they did more audible bangs in sign stealing. And then at the bottom, what effect did the bangs have on the games? So I broke the season up into 3 chunks. At the beginning, they really were not using this sign stealing at all. And they were actually winning. They had the best win percentage in the first third of the season. Then, and that's what this y-axis is, the number of at-bats with audible bangs per game. And then later on in the middle of the season, they start really ramping up. The red bars are the games that they won, the gray are the ones that they lost. And then at the end of the season, same sort of thing. They're using it a lot, but then I don't know if the guy who was logging the bangs got a little tired towards the end of the season, or if it's really true that maybe they knew they had to clinch the playoffs or something and were not using the bangs at the last couple of games of the season. All right, so this was a really, really fun data set, and I would highly recommend any of you to go and look in this and explore it some more, because I'm sure there's a lot that I missed. I'm not a MLB fan, so I tried my best in analyzing some of the things that I thought were interesting, but I'm sure if you know more about baseball, you could find some really, really interesting things here. All right, and my last one is, okay, this is, I think that this is kind of where I don't know what to call it, maybe I'll call it my sort of visualization maturity sort of started, because I really, really started to pay attention to like the way that my design was laid out, the visual elements. And what I also discovered in this time was Figma, which is a really cool, it's a really cool like design interface tool. And so what I did was I built like a frame that sits, you know, in the background of my visualizations, and then laid on top the Tableau graphs and maps and stuff using, in this case, transparent sheets. So I'm just going to transition to Figma really quick to show you what it is in the background. So this is what I built. These are all just visual elements, text, lines. These are little intensity icons that I created, and basically just export this as like a PNG, and then lay that in the background of my viz and then float sheets on top. So yeah, obviously a big fan of that. That's sort of how I've been handling my visualizations more recently too. Another thing that I sort of took advantage here was Mapbox. And Mapbox, it's a little hard to learn. It's got a little bit of a learning curve, but all I really needed to do was create the water, or change the color of the water to the color of my background. And then it looks like a pretty seamless integration into my visualization. And then also like change the color of the land to match my color scheme. And then once you build that in Mapbox, you import it into Tableau, and then you can add your data points on top of it. Then I go into the rest of these are all very simple graphs, but I just really like to make them a little bit more interesting with Figma and design elements. So what causes a tsunami? Almost all the time it's an earthquake. What is the intensity of some of the tsunamis in recent history? So this was something that was new to me too. I didn't really know what the scale was of intensity. And so I built these icons, and then if you hover over them, you can sort of read what these intensities mean. So a 5 is a strong tsunami. Who felt it? What was the effect? What was the damage, et cetera, all the way up to 12. And then once you sort of set the stage with that, what were the most intense tsunamis by century? So looking at all the way back to 2000 BC. And then at the very bottom, just a little blurb about the most, some of the more popular, not popular, what's a bad word? Some of the more recent tsunamis that are in all of our minds, like the one in Indonesia, the one in Japan. So yeah, so Figma, obviously a huge help here. And that does definitely would recommend learning it. It's really easy. It's like, if you guys remember Paint, like Microsoft Paint, that's kind of where I built my foundation for using Figma. So that's a great tool. And now I'm just going to transition back to my PowerPoint and talk about some of the reasons I think that I got selected those few times. So first reason I think is just that the people that are way better than me were not submitting Vizes that day. But the other thing is, and one of the big things is the timeliness of the data set. So like I showed you with that NFL data set, the rarity of a tie, I think I built that like early September, maybe right before the first week of NFL that season. And that's something that's like at the top of everyone's mind. People are interested in it. People want to like read a little bit more about it. So if you're starting a Viz today, maybe think about building a Viz for Halloween, right? So because it's an upcoming event, and by the time you're done building it and analyzing it, it will be ready for Halloween time, and it'll be at the top of people's minds. So I think that's definitely very important. Design is important too. I feel that as long as you are, incorporating some basic design principles, thinking about the fonts that you're using, thinking about the layout, using padding, to your advantage, these are all very important things to making sure your dashboard is visually appealing. And then the last thing that I think is important is sharing your Viz. So obviously, if you want to be Viz of the day, you have to publish it to TableauPublic. But I feel like that a lot of Vizes can get lost in sort of the wave of people uploading Vizes that day. So a big thing to do is tweet about it. Use the DataFam hashtag, tag Tableau, tag TableauPublic. These are all really great ways to improve your visibility and get you more likely to be selected. These are just sort of suggestions, things that I think that have played a role in me getting selected. I'm not really an expert, but I think that these will definitely help. So that's it. I'll stop there. Does anybody have any questions? Should we open up for questions at this point?
I mean, I've got a couple of questions if you don't mind, Kim.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you made a good point there of planning ahead when you want to submit these, because when like big holidays or events or seasons come up, I always wonder how long it took them to plan those dashboards, because I always forget, like Halloween's coming up.
Yeah.
You got to start doing that now, because by the time Halloween comes, you need to be completely done and ready to go. You can't be making them right then. You got to be done with those. So that leads into my first question of how long does it take you to put those, for example, these three, like how long did it take you to put those together?
Yeah, it really, recently it's been taking me way longer to put Vizes together because I just, I always start something and then start over. One thing that's been really helpful is the Sports Viz Sunday community, because they posted that data set in August in anticipation of the season coming up, the NFL season coming up. So it was like, I didn't even need to think about, oh yeah, the season's coming up, maybe I should do a Viz. It was like, oh yeah, this Viz is for this month, let me create a Viz. And then I got kind of lucky with the timing. But I would say, some Vizes are quick, but a storyboard like that, it probably takes me 2 or 3 weeks to perfect. Okay.
Good to know. I have more questions unless anyone else wants to chime in.
Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead, Aaron. Yeah, no, of course. And Jeff, if you have any questions, let me know.
So I don't know. I'm sure you know this. Many people may not know, but the Makeover Monday is going away.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel weird. I almost like feel like I want to raise my hand and be like, can we do something to help? Because I don't know why. I want people to keep doing it because it's been so helpful to helping me improve my visualization. And it's a new data set every week. And I get tired of going to Kaggle, which I don't know if anybody uses Kaggle as like a data set, kaggle.com/datasets. There's a ton of data sets that people put out there that are free to use. But some of them are like, for data science projects like modeling or something. Not all of them are built for visualizations. And the Makeover Monday community is perfect because they're all visualizations already, and you get the data behind it, and and you get to sort of recreate a viz, which has been so helpful, like I said, for my journey. So I'm definitely sad about it.
Yeah, I had a goal of New Year's resolution. I was going to do it every single week. I didn't even get started. Kim, can you bring up your football dashboard? I had a question about that.
Sure.
Before that, can you answer like a really quick question from there's a couple questions in the chat, Kim. One that I think everybody's asking, Ray have a very good question. He says, so it's the Figma PNG essentially a dashboard image floated to the background. Can you tell him a little bit about that?
I actually pulled it up. So what I did was, and I can do it again. So you create a dashboard in exactly those same, pixel ratio that you created your Figma in. So 1000 by 35. And if I go back to Figma, I bet you it's the same. 1000 by 3544. So create the sizing exactly the same. And then the first thing you do is just drop an image. And then when you go to select your image, you select that design in Figma. And then that sits at the background, and then everything else is floating.
Okay. Aaron, ask you a question. There's a lot of questions on the chat, but ask that. Let's go to that question, and we keep looking at our. Jeff, you can help me with the chat. See what.
Sure. So okay. So this for this one and the other ones that you have, you can scroll down quite a ways. Do you, when you are building these, or do you set your dashboard height really big and then fill it in as you need and then reduce it at the end with what you don't need, or do you just you add things in and you expand it as you need it? Because that's the way that I've been doing it. But when I expand it after the fact, everything moves. Now I have to remove everything again.
Yeah. No, especially in these two, I definitely had that problem. You're moving everything. That's why Figma is so great, because you're laying it out yourself. So, and you can, if I do this, I can expand and just like keep building as I please. Actually, I anchored those, so usually it would just pull right down and I could keep adding. But once I started using Figma, it didn't become a problem because I knew exactly what pixel ratio I want. But yeah, when I was doing this one and the other one, the Astros one, it was definitely a problem that I didn't know exactly what I was doing, so I didn't have the perfect sizing.
Yep.
Okay. Jeff, anything from the chat, Jeff, that you want to ask?
Yeah, there's a question out there from Catherine who says, do you start with the data sources and build around them, or you're inspired by topics and spend time hunting down the data to visualize?
Usually I start with the data source. It's just a little bit easier that way. I participated in Iron Viz last year, and that was, they give you a topic and you have to track down the data source. So that was really hard. It was really hard to find exactly the data source to mold into my topic. So I think the easiest thing for me has always been just starting with a data set and then finding something interesting and creating a story out of it.
Right. That Astros data was fascinating. I love baseball, and it's amazing to me that somebody listened to all of those bangs.
I know.
But I really like how you did the dots, and you put the little dots in that whole matrix table there, with no text around it, and you use tooltips to kind of identify, that is inconceivable. I mean, I'm just like thinking in my mind, how did you do that in Tableau? Can you give us a little behind the scenes on that?
I think that all I did, so each line of the data set is a pitch. So I think all I did was drag anything really, like pitch ID, onto the details, and change the view to circles. And then it just laid it all out like this for me, and then added the color of bangs or no bangs. Nice. So it's actually, it looks way more complicated than it is, but it's pretty cool. And the dots are tiny. It took a while to keep reducing the sizing to find a way to get this to fit.
Get it to fit. It looks great. I mean, so cool.
Thanks. Thank you.
Ray asked a question in the chat too. He said, did you create 12 separate shapes for this is on your Tsunami dashboard, did you create 12 separate shapes? And then for the 1 through 12 tsunami values, map them to each value?
So I actually, so intensities along the columns, right? So they're all different shapes. And I said, yeah, 3 is equal to a 3, 2 is equal to a 2. But the shapes are tiny. So I actually had to do a lot of trial and error to figure out which one was which. So I have absolutely, I can't even see which one is which. But yeah, I built my own icons.
Wow. Nice.
And Kim, I'm a huge baseball fan as well as Jeff. You did a great job explaining the scandal. It was good.
Thank you. I practiced a lot.
I think one of the keys to most of their dashboards, I saw 2 things in your dashboards, and tell me if I'm wrong, if this is fine. First, I think that you like to, or like, it makes sense, right? You 1, 2, 3, 4, like
Yeah.
I see a pattern of order,
Right.
which is great, makes it easier to understand. And also I noticed that you use a lot of annotation. I really like how you use annotate things here, there, right? Like you can see every single section, what it is, what does it mean? And it's like, it's a how to read this kind of, right? I really like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's very nice of you.
Yeah, and also if you think about it, I've been looking, and yeah, I also like that you don't use a lot of color. So if you can see here, for example, it's gray and red, and probably there's more gray and red on top. I mean, you can see that they are very consistent colors, right? So this is a lot of data visualization best practices that we can see over and over again, right? And that's what is easy to understand. Yeah.
That's probably like a week of my time of the first is figuring out this design and the colors, and actually intentionally used Dodgers colors here to sort of get at the Astros.
Oh, you see, look at Aaron, he's laughing.
Good
And a
touch.
very frustrated Kershaw too, right? So,
Yeah.
no, that's great.
So there is Bobby Huge. He said in the chat, thank you. He said, Kim mentioned Figma. What additional tools or resources do you use, if any, right? Or they're helpful for you?
Yeah, oh, there's so many. You know what, the biggest thing that I use is the DataFam hashtag on Twitter. I'm just always getting inspiration from other people. We have, the Tableau community has some amazing designers. And so I really love to just kind of get ideas from what they're doing. I use it at work too. They build really cool dashboards for business, reasons. So that's the #1 place. And then there's also like, Stephen Wexler and Ryan Sleeper, these guys that are really like inspiring. They always have articles that I read about, visualizations and new and exciting ways of presenting stuff. So, but always the #1 is learning from others in our community.
Exactly. Aaron, do you have any other questions for Kim?
The one I have was, so most of my Tableau public visualizations are baseball related, but mine don't look anything like yours. Yours, like, do you have I don't have that artistic touch of like making things look like a blog basically. And like, so do you have like any like background in that kind of like graphic design, or is it just comes natural to you?
No, not really a background, but I do I really seek it out, and I mean, it's so much of it is trying to copy the designs of others and tweak it just a little bit. But Figma has been a really great tool for learning that, and just, it's really simple things, just squares, circles, lines, and text essentially. And so I just experiment with things that I wish I could show you. Probably my first or second or third attempt, they look horrible. It just always, if I keep working on it, I always end up with a much better result than the one I started with. So I guess just practice and inspiration from others.
Do you think it takes more time to make that artistic feel to it than it does to actually make the dashboard in Tableau?
Yes, definitely. And I have more fun building the design of it. So that's why some of them, like especially the tsunami one, it's just a simple map and a couple of bar graphs.
Yeah.
But I really focus heavily on the design side.
Okay. this is kind of like your wireframe if you think about it, right? Here's
Yeah.
kind of like your wireframe.
Yeah.
It can be used for that too.
Yeah, and you could even use it to build, just to get an idea of what you're going to do, and put little like squares and say, okay, I'm going to put my my map here. I'm going to put my bar graph here. You don't even have to add all of these elements to it.
Okay. I think there's, let me see, there's anything else in the, I think there was another. So someone wants to ask you if you can give us a peek, or I'm sorry, not a peek, or let us know, what are you working on next? What is the theme, at least, if you can,
I don't have anything actually.
Oh, okay.
We just moved into a new house, so we're kind of settling in right now. So I've been a little bit busy with that, but I hope to get inspired and build something soon.
Really cool. Very cool. How long you been using Tableau?
I guess I learned it in one of my semesters in my master's, maybe 2017. I learned it, and
Wow.
then 2018 is when I really started to get really into it.
Wow, amazing, amazing. I mean,
Thank you.
So
Thank
quickly.
you for all the questions.
Yeah. Anybody else have a question? Jeff, you have a question? Any other?
No, I don't have one. I'm good.
So anything that you can recommend to anyone that I don't know, like starting out or just want to get better? I know that you mentioned yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Makeover Monday, but even though it's ending, they have archived from the last, I don't know how long, 3-4 years,
Correct.
even longer than that, every single week. So there's 52 data sets for every week for every year that they've done it. So I that is the best way. Just practice, and get feedback from the community. Post the data fam community is really like really nice, and they give a lot of feedback, and they'll help you if you want help. So do these things, post it, ask for feedback, and that's how I learned, and I think that's how anyone starting out could learn too. Yeah,
there is also, so anybody that is in the chat or watching, there's also a Makeover Monday book. I have it, but I don't have it right here close to me. But there is a book for Makeover Monday, so it's another way anybody can learn.
Yeah, I have it too.
Yeah, you have it too.
Yeah.
Yes. So Aaron, are you able to have that? Okay, so somebody said, Martha said something about if they can reach out to you if they have questions about your dashboards. I think, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course,
definitely.
Anytime.
Add me on LinkedIn, and we can start talking there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are your dashboards downloadable?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a setting that I can make them not downloadable, but I haven't done that. So yeah, definitely all of them should be downloadable.
Awesome. Aaron, do we have the thing for the raffle? Do you think it worked?
Yes, I've got it up and ready.
Okay, so that's it for today. I mean, we're gonna have now a raffle for the book, some announcement, and if you're interested, I have job opportunities for you right now that you can look at. And if you're looking for a new job, I mean, I have 12 different job opportunities that we're gonna show you. But before that, and I will thank Kim for everything today. This has been amazing. Everybody is actually in the chat saying how cool is all of this. I really like what you're showing. I mean, I didn't know anything about Figma, and that inspires me to look at it. And definitely, thank you so much for that.
No, thank you again for having me. Thank you for listening, and definitely add me on LinkedIn or Twitter. And I'd love to talk and share ideas and get inspired by all of you too.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Aaron is gonna raffle now. He's gonna take over and raffle the that. Let me see. Can you take it over?
Yeah, real quick. Kim, do you get most of your Tableau ideas and inspiration from more from Twitter, more from LinkedIn? Is there certain like platforms that are better for that for you?
Definitely more Twitter, and also Pinterest is pretty good for that.
Pinterest,
If you just search on Pinterest for data visualizations or infographics, I really like to search for that too, because that's what inspires me. Those are all great places to start.
Okay, good. Twitter is usually where I go for that kind of content. So I'm just curious. All right, great. So I put everybody's names that was in the participation list, and let's see who's going to win that.
Yay.
Pick the winner. Mark it down. Email Nancy.
That's awesome. Great work.
Where'd Emil go? Did he leave?
I'm here. I'm here. Can you see me? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
we
here.
gotcha.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Nancy, something happened with my internet. Nancy, are you there in the chat? I mean, if you you just won Stick Wexler signed book, the big book of dashboards right here, have it with me. So Nancy, we're gonna please send an email, Nancy, to orlandotalk@gmail.com so that we can you know, that we can actually send you the book, please.
Awesome.
She put her email in the chat, so we've got it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on a second, everyone. Hold on a second, bear with me. I'm having issues with my internet. Tell me if you can see my, can you see my screen? No?
Yes.
With the Tableau community?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so wanted to go really quick with this. So we have, you know, some communications for you. If you were looking for speakers, you know, the orlandotalk@gmail.com. If you want to be a speaker, if you want to participate with the talk, let us know. Just please send us an email, orlandotalk@gmail.com. Like Aaron said at the beginning, and Jeff, we're looking to probably do one in person in October. If anybody likes to do that, let us know, and then we will do that. And in November, we're looking to partner with Tableau to do some Tableau conference local events while we have the Tableau conference. And also we're thinking, you know, doing networking and show me your biz kind of like event where you can bring your laptop, show us your biz, Aaron and myself, Jeff, Katie, we can help you out, and everybody that is there. If you have any issues with your dashboard, want some feedback, we can do that in live right there between each other, right? Like we can help each other. That's the idea of having this talk. If you want to know about all the events that are going on, just go to tableau.com community/events. There you can find all the virtual events that are happening every month, every week. And I want to be clear that we want to sponsor and help out the Veterans Advocacy Talk. Some folks that are part of this user group are also in the Veterans user group that is going to be on October 7th. So some of our friends here in Orlando are part of this user group, and some of them are the leaders of this user group. And this is a virtual user group for the whole United States for veterans, and you can participate and be part of it. And we also have Comunidades is the only talk that is completely in Spanish. So if you speak Spanish and wants to be part of that talk, let me know, contact me, and we can help you out there from all South America, and then from also Spain, and some from the US, and the talk is in Spanish. And then lately, here on the right, we have the 3 at 3 live mystery show. Aaron is gonna add a chat in the chat, a sign up page where you can be part of the show actually and join us every week at Wednesdays at 3 p.m. It's a great show where we discuss data visualizations from the wild, and it's very good for improving, you know, like collaboration, and also to, you know, listen to different perspectives, and it's a lot of fun.
So you know, I put the links to all of these in the chat.
Okay.
They're up there a little bit because we've had some comments come in, but they're all there. The only thing I want to mention is that the Spanish one is at 3 p.m. Eastern
Today. That's
so it's
true.
a couple hours. The other ones are later, but just so you know that.
That's true. No, that's true. Also here, the job board. So I think everybody that is here, you guys are lucky. I mean, I didn't even know what to do. I think I was gonna do like 5 pages of job boards. I mean, there's too many jobs out there.
Yeah.
All of these jobs that are here, so people that contacted us that wanted for us to advertise their, their jobs, they're actually desperate to looking for people like you. All of these jobs that are here require you to have some Tableau knowledge. And so we have some from Brad Barrett at Senior Data Analyst is looking for, like, this is a great opportunity for working for Ritz Carlton. And this is the Judge collection. So you're going to work with, data related to those very expensive Judge and boats for honestly billionaires and millionaires. So this is a really cool data. And and we know Brad Barrett, and he's the one looking for someone over there. And just reach out to him. Here's the information. We're going to put it in the chat. We have Marriott Vacation, also looking for a manager here in Orlando. And for data insights, I was contacted by Red Hat about this job, visualization engineer. And just if you can take a picture of this screenshot, I mean, or, like we're going to put it in the chat, like Aaron said, a lot of jobs here in Universal Orlando too. All of these jobs here require Tableau. And especially the manager BI, that one, we're going to have it there in the chat. Reach out to reach out to us if you want us to help you out. We know all these people, to orlandotalk@gmail.com. Reach out to us and we help you out. And if you're looking, or if you have any job, send us to us, and we can put it here next month. And then also here where I work in data meaning, we're also looking for BI developers, Tableau developers, trainers. That's a data meaning.com. Apply, and you will find many opportunities there. But if anything, you can send us an email to orlandotalk@gmail, and we help you out. And anything else, Aaron? About
I put all the links to those jobs in the chat as well.
Okay. And that's it. I mean, we're good. We're on time. We didn't move. I have another meeting actually after one. I had one. So, but thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us today. See you next month. Thanks again to Kim and everybody on the leadership team. And yeah, until next Orlando Talk meeting. And thank you for being part of this talk.
Emil, one more thing.
Go ahead.
I got results of that poll. We're at 81% of the people said that they would either be yes or maybe on meeting in person or doing a hybrid thing. So that's looking good.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to work for something, find a location here in Orlando. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you. See you in the next. Thank you, Kim.